We have eyewitness video of a crack that's open in Kansas as pressure is also building up in Yellowstone right here in northeast Kansas. All the details about this as we speak. But before we get to that, we got where today we had NPS.gov where Old Faithful is predicted to erupt today. It's July 25th, 2025. And there was eyewitness video of the steam geyser erupting. Now, when Old Faithful usually erupts, it's because of a buildup of pressure in its underground pumping system or plumbing system. Superheated water and steam accumulate in a bubble trap. When the pressure exceeds the surrounding rock and water pressure is released, coming out from National Park Service. Scientists were saying ominous signs that Yellowstone supervolcano was building up. And we've got more information here on all the recents for you. A geologist, Dr. Zack Liftin in Idaho, came out talking about the situations that's going on with the faults over there. Get into the MSN article. Those earthquakes came in swarms, small groups of interconnected tremors, which have been known to precede volcanic activity. So we're going to be finding out about that. But let's get to this giant crack in Kansas. This opened up before Idaho. See right here, this is his page. He has a pasture full of red cows and cows. You can see this here 16 hours ago is what he put out. But we're going to go into this giant crack, though. So let's read what happened on his pasture, which he says happens basically every 20 years. But it's interesting where he's at. Got some more cracks to fill in. These are located in the pasture on the north side of Bear Creek. This isn't erosion from runoff, but long, deep cracks as the Bear Creek fault runs along here. Black shells rise nearly 200 feet higher along the north side of the fault and defines the aquifer edge. So we're about to give you the eyewitness video account right here. Please, if something is going on in your area, drop it right now in the live chat. We have to investigate this over the next weeks and months, and you're going to be my first line information. So I need to hear what's going on in your local area. People saying ants are moving in different areas, insects are moving. Let's get back to Kansas. Bear Creek, Pub, USGS. A lot of people don't know this about Kansas, and we're about to give you warning zones to look out for if anything does happen here in a second. So the Bear Creek fault line in Kansas as mapped, USGS publications. What you don't know about this is that this is a volcanic field over here. Northeast Kansas, exactly where he's at. 1999 Geological Survey released this report right here, this publication. And if you're in Kansas right now, you need to put this on screen. You need to screenshot this, take this map. This is official maps where ash deposits can come out of Kansas. So you can see right here, Jewell County, you can see Ellensworth, and there's a lot of other counties that this can happen. Now, for everybody else, we're looking at other zones here along this area. Lava Creek, obviously that's the ash bed where the ashes can rise, and that can cause cooling off of the atmosphere if anything did happen. So for today, though, we want to look at Yellowstone Volcano Observatory on USGS. And what we're going to do here is we're going to give you information about specific areas, your locations, and how many of you right now are having certain things happen within yourself or your location that you know this is not right. And you need to tell me that in the chat right now too, so I can get all this information, because I have eyewitnesses on the ground who's going to be giving us more information about opening cracks in Idaho. The geologist, though, is going to be very important for you to stay here to get that information. Check this out on screen. These are all the locations that have young volcanoes. The little black ones are young volcanoes right there. Here's the warning zones right now, though, for if anything happens with Yellowstone. So Yellowstone Observatory is a consortium of 9 states, federal agencies that provide timely monitoring hazard. Young volcanoes are in Arizona, Colorado, you got MT, New Mexico, UT, Wyoming. So that's Utah, obviously. High threat, obviously, is Yellowstone. Moderate threat is Black Rock Desert Volcanic Field, Cerro Volcanic Center, San Francisco Volcanic Field, and Valles Caldera. Again, we're going to get all back into more touching on the zones. But what we need to understand, though, is in Idaho, when that crack opened, the one in Kansas opened earlier than the one in Idaho. But it was just this year. So let's go into this part right here for you right now. They dug a trench. Dr. Glenn Thackeray, professor of geosciences at Idaho State University, and Dr. Zack Liftin, a geologic hazards geologist at Idaho Geological Survey. They went out to the fracture zone over in Idaho, where Stanley pretty much earthquake hit in 2020, and we had rumbles just last month. So what they did, they took LiDAR out there to start going and mapping the area and start getting area of the Sawtooth Fault. And they found something else. They thought that it was Sawtooth Fault that caused the situation, but their research led them to a new discovery of another fault line, which they didn't know much about. In 2025, we had Zack Zack Liftin, geologist at Idaho University or Geological Survey, on Sean Wilson Geology Show. And we're going to show you what he said about this area that they dug the trench in. You can see right here where the trench is dug at. But listen to the information coming out about this location where we found the crack at, and we got more connections to make.
And so the red lines you see on here are the Sawtooth Fault that we've mapped. I guess it's a couple of years ago now, but we got all this new LiDAR data for the area, so we were able to do a pretty comprehensive map of the fault zone. And then the black lines are an older bedrock fault system called the Trans-Challis Fault System, and that got quite a bit of attention after the Stanley earthquake, because it's sort of, the Stanley earthquake kind of occurred right at the intersection of the Trans-Challis Fault and the Sawtooth Fault. And it seems like this Trans-Challis Fault system may play some role in either restricting or accommodating tectonic activity. So that we still don't really know, but the Trans-Challis system is Eocene in age. It's extensional, so it was probably extending sort of northwest southeast, probably related to the Challis volcanics in some way. With the LiDAR, we're able to actually map surface scarps, so you can sort of see through the vegetation, so to speak, and you can actually map where the fault has ruptured the surface. So in places where we have a solid line.
All right, huge deal there. And drop this in the chat really quick, because I'm really interested to know, and I'm pretty sure everybody else is, what is the strangest things you've started to witness, whether it's water bubbling, activity around lakes, whether it's something under your lawn, you're in the volcanic field area. I'm going to pull that up on the screen real quick. What have you experienced? And also, these volcanic fields stretch all the way to close to New Jersey area as well. Drop in the chat what's going on, because we're going to be the first line warning system for each other. This is going to be the quickest way we get it out. So subscribe right now so you can get all the updates and information. We're going to be covering every literal aspect that they're not going to be doing. Now, going into this, along Snake River is where we saw that crack open in Idaho in my previous video. And the sheriffs actually warned people to stay away from that area along that creek area. So check this out. And you can see right here, Snake River, the sheriff's office had released this, and you can see right along that area where the Snake River at is a volcanic Yellowstone connection. This is where the cliff started to break off. So USGS.gov, leading edge of the Snake River Plain Yellowstone volcanic province. You can see right there. Now we'll go a little bit further past this to go a little bit deeper, because Mount Rainier, July 8, 2025, they had their biggest earthquake swarm, largest ever recorded at the volcano A lot of people try to say, well, it's normal. Well, the USGS is saying that it wasn't normal. And what else we can look at when it comes to Mount Rainier, you can see that they have volcanic fields as well. So that's why we were connecting all these dots here, because this is going to give us huge early heads up and warning zones. In the video clip, watch now, is spreading, new cracks open in Idaho, Yellowstone pressure cracks build. I have eyewitness videos, and if you look in the live chat and you look down below, you'll find those clips. That's the only clip you need to watch or video after this, tying deeply into the story. Let's look a little bit deeper into Mount Rainier, because what happened is, you can see right here seismic activity beneath Mount Rainier, Washington, showing earthquakes during 2020 through 2025. Those that occurred as part of an earthquake swarm July 8th through 2025 is in orange. All the orange dots happen lower, close to where the magma chambers and everything else is at. So we can see that this activity buildup in Mount Rainier could definitely be connected to what's happening in Yellowstone. And I don't know if y'all been feeling like this rattling, or y'all just been having this sense of your intuition about something coming, or that you feel that the world right now is definitely in this ending timeline. Whatever it may be, I want to know exactly what you see by eye, because you're going to be the first-hand account of what we can do here and gather this information as a community team, responding to events with warning systems from each other through video clips. I have people getting back with me, talking to HOA about these cracks in their property, because it's a big, huge drop. And it's like 3 feet the lady was talking about. And she's saying currently right now they're getting information for every last one of us here. So you want to stick around for that situation. And every time, if I'm wrong on anything, a local comes out and says, hey, no, it's actually this, and you need to see this. So we'll have people live on the ground, apparently going to Idaho, trying to report for us. So you want to stick around for that. Look, in the live chat right now, everybody, you haven't seen it, watch now. It's spreading, new cracks open in Idaho, Yellowstone pressure builds, and these are the eyewitness accounts. Check that video, and I'll have it here on the left-hand side. A lot more coming. Stay tuned for these updates, because it's about your close to home locations.